Have you ever felt like the very peak of success, surrounded by every blessing, still leaves a hollow echo, an insistent whisper demanding more? Our tale begins with Tantalus, a mortal king unlike any other. He wasn't just powerful on Earth, he was a cherished guest on Mount Olympus itself. Imagine the scene, feasting at tables carved from clouds, amidst the laughter and thunder of Zeus, Poseidon, Hera. He savored ambrosia, sipped nectar, pure divinity flowing freely through his mortal veins. Tantalus listened to their cosmic counsels, privy to secrets only gods were meant to know, insights into the very fabric of existence. Zeus, the mighty king of the heavens, esteemed Tantalus not as a subject, but as a trusted confidant, a friend. He shared his wine, his wisdom, his very presence with this exceptional mortal. No mortal, before or since, had ever been granted such unprecedented privilege. Tantalus possessed every earthly treasure, every human accolade, and now access to the very heart of the divine. He was showered with grace, steeped in immortal favor. He had quite literally everything any being, mortal or divine, could possibly desire. But this is precisely where the shadow begins to fall. For even in that radiant ethereal glow of Olympus, within the very halls of divine trust, a serpent of discontent began to coil in Tantalus's heart. He didn't just enjoy the feasts, he began to covet the power behind them. He didn't just listen to secrets, he began to see them as tools, as currency, as leverage. His boundless ambition stirred, a hunger no amount of ambrosia could truly sat. It was a desire born not of need, but of ego, a terrifying aspiration to transcend his mortal limitations, not through virtue or divine ascension, but through cunning and manipulation. He looked at the gods, not with reverence, but with a growing, dangerous sense of parody. He had shared their food. Perhaps he could share their dominion. He had heard their secrets. Perhaps he could use them. That whisper for more became a relentless roar, twisting gratitude into entitlement, transforming unprecedented favor into a perverse opportunity for ultimate unearned power. This isn't merely an ancient story, it's a chilling insight into the ego's subtle corruption, where even divine grace becomes shockingly insufficient. This first subtle shift from appreciation to absolute covetousness is the insidious beginning of self-destruction. Consider where might your own pursuit of more ultimately lead. Share your thoughts below. But Tantalus's ambition wasn't content with mere theft. That hunger for more metastasized, mutating into something far more monstrous, a grotesque desire to not just equal the gods, but to mock their very omniscience. He had been privy to their secrets, shared their feasts, and now, consumed by hubris, he sought to prove them fallible, to demonstrate that even the divine could be fooled by a cunning mortal. His audacity escalated from pilfering ambrosia, the food of immortality, to conceiving an act so depraved it would forever stain his name. Tantalus decided to host a banquet, not just any banquet, but one for the Olympian gods themselves. And for the main course, a dish crafted with horrifying intent, his own son Pelops. He butchered his child, cooked him, and served his flesh to the unsuspecting deities, a perverse test of their divine knowledge, a grotesque challenge to their power. He watched, perhaps with a chilling smile, as the immortals gathered, daring them to taste the abhorrent truth. Only Demeter, lost in her profound grief for Persephone, unknowingly partook. But the others, with eyes that saw beyond mortal deception, recoiled in horror as the monstrous truth was laid bare before them. The divine silence that followed was more terrifying than any thunder. The gods, sickened to their core, gazed upon the monstrous king. Zeus, patriarch of Olympus, rose, his eyes blazing not with light, but with an inferno of righteous wrath. Dramatic pause. Tantalus's audacity, his hubris, had finally reached an unforgivable peak. For this ultimate betrayal, this defilement of sacred hospitality and life itself, his punishment would be legendary, a torment perfectly tailored to his insatiable earthly desires. Cast into the deepest chasm of the underworld, Tartarus, Tantalus found himself immersed in a pool of water, crystal clear and tantalizingly close. Above him, laden branches heavy with ripe fruit, grapes, apples, figs, dangled within arm's reach. Yet, whenever he bent to drink, the water receded, swallowed by the earth. Eternal hunger, eternal thirst, a gnawing, never-ending craving that mirrored the boundless ambition that had driven him to this horrific deed. But the true price of Tantalus's insatiable desire, his hubris, reached far beyond his own personal, eternal torment. It was a poison that seeped into the very roots of his family tree, a generational curse that clung to his descendants like a shroud. The House of Atreus, born from his horrific acts, became a crucible of unending tragedy. Vengeance begot murder, ambition sparked betrayal, and self-destruction became a terrifying inheritance from Pelops, his son, whom he had so monstrously served, to Atreus and Thyestes, and down to Agamemnon and Orestes, a horrifying cycle of reciprocal violence, filicide and matricide. Like, the gods, insulted and outraged, ensured that Tantalus's crime echoed through the ages, a chilling testament to how one man's ego, one man's boundless craving for more, could condemn an entire dynasty to an inescapable fate of ruin and bloodshed. Tantalus's myth mirrors our own insatiable more. This endless pursuit of wealth and ambition blinds us, creating perpetual unfulfillment. Its true cost is losing contentment. What more consumes you? Share below.